Hello everyone, welcome back to a new Tarapeutic video.
Hi.
And in this therapeutic video, we are interviewing the owner of the channel herself, Tarapeutic.
So, wait and see what we have to say about it, because we'll be hitting her with the hard questions today.
Make sure to use code Terra in the Rec Room shop.
Which one of us do you want us to introduce you? It's up to you.
I almost had like a diva moment. Do I need an introduction? Does everyone know who I am?
Oh my goodness.
Who are you?
Slay, girl. Absolutely slay. You're absolutely killing it.
All right, shall we begin?
So how do you feel about hitting 100,000 subscribers?
I mean, it feels surreal, honestly. Like, it feels like I started my YouTube channel so long ago, but I'm always grinding. I just really forget to care or look at sub counts. I look at them, but mainly I just worry about like not missing video uploads. And I think it's just like the community kind of forced me into caring because everyone kept bringing up 100K. And so it's great, it's awesome, but I think that it's not my most important metric for my channel. So I just keep up the grind, but it feels really awesome. I definitely cried on my live stream. I didn't think I would, but I did, so.
We all did, Tara, we all did.
We'll cry for you, Tara. We cry for you.
So, second question is, what is the best and worst quest items in your opinion?
Quest items. I don't know. I personally really like the Isle outfit. I think that the pirate outfit on that is amazing. And as far as the worst, I probably have to say is like golden trophy archer sets. They don't really look that flattering to me. I know some people rock them, but I personally can't. And they clip in full body. I think they're still clipping as far as I can see. Everybody wears that when they're like level 39 and they think they've conquered the world for sure.
So, Tara, I got a question for you. What made emus such an important staple in your channel? And do you think they've impacted your channel at all?
That's actually a great question. I do have 3 pet emus in real life. Some people think I'm making that up, but I'm really not. And hatching them totally changed my life because they're so like strange and unique and not many people have them as pets. So of course I can never stop talking about them even though my channel is not about emus. I think it was like it's impacted my channel because it's been a huge part of my life. They're almost like part of the branding, part of like a little mascot for the channel, kind of like, you know, Chubbier Snail has snails as a branding theme. Although he doesn't have a pet snail as far as I know. I think he should get one.
Totally.
Yeah.
The snail and the emus team up together to conquer the world.
Yes.
Sounds like a fun adventure.
Yes, exactly. But I'm so happy that so many people have made like emu artwork and stuff. That just warms my heart. I just love it so much.
Thank you, artists who support Tarapeutic. You do a great
Yes.
job.
So the next question is, what is your favorite tea flavor? And for anyone wondering, mine is chamomile. So what's your thoughts on also chamomile tea?
Yeah, chamomile is awesome. It's very soothing. It's a very calming tea flavor. I have one
Refreshing.
at least once a week. My personal favorite would probably be like Earl Grey or Orange Pico. I have different ones that are like black currant flavor and vanilla Earl Grey. Like those ones are really nice too. I always put some silk soy cremo in my tea in the morning with my black tea and some brown sugar, and yeah, it's a nice little treat. So that's my favorite.
So, what is your favorite movie and song?
And song. It's really tough to choose a favorite movie or song because it really varies just depending on my mood, honestly. But one of my favorite movies is Super Size Me, like the McDonald's documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's kind of older now. I've lost count of how many times I have seen that. It's just, I don't know what it is about like the fast food industry, but I just find it really fascinating. As far as a song, that's even harder to choose. I really like Doja Cat though. I listen to a lot of her music.
Doja Cat?
Yeah, Doja Cat.
Ooh, she the devil.
It's too hip for me.
It's too hip for you.
It is indeed. I'm old-fashioned. I'm sorry.
Are you? Why do I feel like you listen to like orchestra music?
Madonna.
That's not too far off the truth. So my question is, with Avatar Studio being in early development at Rec Room HQ, creators now have the power to make custom avatar items for themselves and share them with the world. So I ask you this: what would be your dream avatar outfit or item? You can make one.
I mean, I've been really excited for Avatar Studio. I'm hoping it's a total game changer. Like custom shirts are pretty limited in a lot of ways, not just the tool itself being rudimentary, but the fact that it's just a t-shirt. So I would probably have to say a dress that reflects like my real life style, something stylish and black. I wear a ton of black IRL, even though I'm trying to branch out and choose different colors. And I like mini dresses that work well with boots. So I would say like, yeah, it'd be really cool to have custom boots, maybe with like Tarapeutic on the back or something like that. I imagine when that comes out, I'll be really eager to work with some design artists to come up with something fabulous, because I am actually really stoked on that, because no one else would have it. It'd be like completely unique to me, so it'd be sweet.
So my question is, how do you feel about the weeklies being removed? And do you support Gribbly's answer?
No, I don't. I don't support his answer. I'm really upset that the weeklies got removed. I respect Gribbly. I love that he took the time to go find answers for all these questions I had for him, but I still totally disagree. I think that the weekly was more important than people realize, and I did mention to him that people like Bo and Soulfox would stream it every week, and I think he kind of glossed over the fact that, you know, like he may have severed Rec Room in the case of one of the top RecTubers, because Bo literally does more Gorilla Tag now. The ripple effect from like getting rid of weeklies is probably more than the staff will ever realize. I get that it was outdated. I get that it was focused on Rec Room originals and probably somewhat boring to people, but it was like still a way to get a free item every single week. So that mattered to a lot of people. So I think they should have put a new system in place before getting rid of the old one. It's just one of those things that was just a giant blow to the community. I personally just strongly disagree. I was nodding during the interview when he was giving the answers. The whole time I was just thinking, no, just bring it back. Like, it's not that hard. And I don't think they could just push a button and bring it back, but I really, really wish that like they could just do that. So I'm still choked about that.
Yeah, I miss them as well. It added a lot to the game.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I have nothing to do.
And people would just log on, like people that didn't play would log on just to get the weekly with their friends. So I think he misses the point with the progression systems too. He says like, well, we have Make It to Midnight. We have these ones you can still progress in. And I'm like, sure, but as my friend pointed out, it's different progression. You might not be at the same progression as your friend. This is the weekly you're grinding together, so.
What type of RRO would you like next?
That's an interesting one. My Little Monsters was actually something that I really liked and wanted to see. If they made it so that there was more than one sub room, that would almost be my ideal RRO because I love anything to do with pets and animals. But I really do think we're long overdue for a new quest. And I don't want to see something so wildly different than the other quests. I want to see something that is in the same style but a different theme, even if it's longer with maybe some checkpoints or progression, new weapons. It doesn't have to be just like a 30-minute run through like Golden Trophy. I've been wanting a Western quest with like showdown theme with goblins for like years. I think they would look so cute, little cowboy hats.
What is your most memorable trip you have ever taken in or outside of Canada? And what made it so special?
My most memorable trip outside of Canada would probably have to be the double trip that I took to Thailand and India. I think it was like 2016 or something. It was a while ago. But I love the food in Thailand was amazing. It's so spicy, but it was amazing. And the people in Thailand were really, really friendly. And India was just absolutely as crazy as you might picture. Like it's so busy, bustling, traffic was nuts. It was such a memorable trip. And I had just those two very different cultures, also being very different than Canada, really opened my eyes to traveling. So yeah, those are definitely a crazy trip. So I also got a tattoo of an owl when I was in Bangkok on my way back home. So it was also memorable because I had to sit there for like 4 hours and it was my first tattoo. It was really painful.
I imagine the heat as well must have been quite a shock to you,
Yes.
considering you live in quite a cold climate usually.
Exactly. I mean, Canada can get hot in the summers with nothing like how hot it gets in places like that, where it's also kind of humid because it was like September. It is just crazy. It's so hot. You just drink water like constantly, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it sounds like an awesome trip.
Yeah,
really
it
does.
So my next question is, how come you did not become a writer like you wanted to?
Okay. Yeah, for those of people that don't know, I think I had mentioned in, where did I mention that? Oh, in my community post.
In the community post.
Yes, for 100K that I wanted to be a writer when I was young. Because, I mean, I did do a little bit of writing. I wrote for the newspaper when I was a teenager, a couple different newspapers actually, but I think it just kind of like, I don't want to say sucks the fun out of it, but you know, when you're able to just incorporate writing like I do now for scripts and stuff versus like, that's my job and I have to be paid to do it and I have to like write something specific. I don't know. I'm kind of glad it's this instead because I can just use writing for the various things and not just being forced to do it, so.
If you were to actually become a writer, what would you write?
I would definitely write something about the apocalypse happening, like the shock of adjustment to society crumbling. I don't know why I've always loved that topic with emus.
Emus in the apocalypse.
I've seen the movie 2012 like so many times. I feel like writing a book about something like that would be super cool.
Oh my god, I watched that like so many
How
times.
depressing.
It may be depressing, but you know, I think it would be neat. I just think apocalypses are neat.
Yeah, let's watch the world crash and burn, but at least
Yeah.
we're together.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
There's lots of writing
Drop some
topics on that,
popcorn,
so
yeah.
lots to write about.
Let's tap into your survival instincts. If you had to survive the night against one monster, whom would you pick out of these three? The Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, or Count Dracula?
I would probably try to survive against Dracula. I mean, I know 2 Draculas in my life already, and I really like garlic, so how difficult could it be?
What a fool you are, indeed, because vampires are quick, we are very stealthy, and, well, I know, Tara, I feel like you'd be quite loud, especially with them boots on, the ribbits, every step.
Yes, perhaps. I like my odds. I'll stick with my decision.
So the next question is, how did you feel when you saw that your channel started growing?
Oh, I mean, that's a while ago. Let me think back to January, or not January, but like April 2021. I was hyped. I mean, I wanted to succeed at YouTube. So when I realized people actually started to care and recognize my channel, it felt amazing. I still remember being in a rec center and I remember saying something like, I'm a Rec Room YouTuber. And this kid was like, yeah, how many subscribers do you have? And I had like, not that many. Like, it was one of those moments where I think he rolled his eyes at me, but I'm like, I'll be a big deal someday. So to actually have that come to pass is crazy, like hitting 100K. My friend Ash actually DM'd me when I hit 100K on Discord, and he's known me from like the start of me playing Rec Room. He said like, he reminded me that I always would say it's about hard work and dedication, and that's how you succeed. It's not luck. So when I saw my hard work start to pay off even at the start, it just, I don't know, feels awesome. You get out of it what you put into it with YouTube, I feel. So
I think that kid's probably crying now.
I don't know whoever they are. I don't even know
Look
who they
how
are.
you've grown.
Are you going to do more live streams in the future? You haven't done one in months. That's the 100K.
Yeah, I will be doing more streams. Streaming is like my least favorite thing to do because I get nervous going live, and I like to pay a lot of attention to chat. So when I'm trying to, it's kind of draining just to keep up with the constant messages, having to think on the spot. It's stressful for me. But for a while there, like many months, I was moving and I had bad internet, so it wasn't really possible to stream. But now that it's possible, I would like to do more. But my favorite streams are like ones with a solid concept. Like last summer, me and Jeremy did like a Mad Lib stream. So time went by fast on that, and I had a lot of fun actually. So I would live stream more if I had more concepts. When I was doing the 100K stream, I'm like, oh, I kind of miss this, you know? I get nervous, but I actually kind of like live streaming sometimes. So I have a love-hate relationship with it. So I will definitely do more when I get the time. Also, it's summer, so I'm outside a lot gardening and stuff. I don't have as much time.
Which Rec Room boss, such as the Bog Monster, Jumbotron, the Goblin King, all those lovely fellows, would be the best roommate, and which one would be the worst roommate?
I feel like Ghostbeard, the pirate, would be the worst roommate because imagine that cannon going off at 3 in the morning. I feel like that would be super annoying. I wouldn't get a wink of sleep. I think the best would be the Bog Monster because realistically speaking, he's cute. And we all know he loves to chill away from people. The only reason that he emerges from the swamp is because he's being disturbed. I feel like he'd be one of those roommates where he'd just be sleeping all day in his room. So I go with the Bog Monster for
Just make sure that the Bog Monster takes a shower, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely stinky.
The swamp doesn't smell great. That's true.
Simple question. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 2 brothers. I'm a middle child. One brother who is like almost 2 years older than me, and my younger brother is like 6-7 years younger than me. So bit of an age gap there.
Now that you have hit 100K, what is your best tip to become a big RecTuber like you or Soulfox?
I think it really comes down to consistency and learning. I spent so much time learning how to do YouTube by watching videos on the subject. It's not something that came naturally to me. I don't think it's something you can either like also shortcut to success. I think you can randomly get lucky, but then you have to sustain those views somehow anyway. So I think you need to develop some degree of skill to get this far, like learning how to do thumbnails, learning how to hook people at the start of content, learning how to edit and which types of videos to make. Like all of those are skills that can be developed. For me, I don't know. I think it's just a really creative process, so you have to enjoy that and stick with it. I would say to people, like, don't take it too seriously. Just have fun and be consistent, and the rest will follow. You have to keep improving on your skills over time. You cannot just coast. And I think, like, for people, too, they think their content is better than it is. I'm pretty realistic. I know that, people watch my content, so it's not that bad. But, I mean, I'm always realistic. I'm like, this could be a lot better, so you have to, like, be humble, I would say, in order to improve. That's probably my biggest tips.
That is Tarapeutic's secret to being famous. Buy her book on Amazon.
I don't have a
Use
plan.
code Tara for 20% off.
If you could choose to live in any fictional universe of your choice, what would it be and why?
Harry Potter. Because, I mean...
I see. You want to tap into your sorcery.
Yes, I love everything about the Harry Potter world, like the wizarding world. I just love it so much. When I go to like Universal Studios and I get to go to the actual like real life versions of that, I just feel so immersed. I love it. I could definitely see myself in Gryffindor at Hogwarts someday, hopefully.
What if you're a Slytherin?
I wouldn't be a Slytherin.
Then Avada Kedavra.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
Crucio! How did it feel to be in the first pilot group in the Video Partners program?
Oh gosh. Well, I wasn't the biggest RecTuber at the time, so I was really surprised that they chose me. I don't think I had more than like 7,000, 8,000 subscribers at the time. So like there was bigger RecTubers who didn't get chosen for that program, and I remember kind of feeling guilty because they probably should have gotten it over me. But I immediately saw my supporter count going up as soon as I got a code, which is really cool because that was the thing that made me able to do YouTube full time. So I'm still super grateful for anyone that uses my code because that literally, it makes up so much of my income, so really appreciate it. But being in the first pilot program, I would say it made me feel a bit guilty because I got it over some people who didn't. So oops, I didn't mean to throw my map at you.
What is your favorite item in all of the Reciverse?
The mirrored glasses that I wear because they look good on everybody. They're not too expensive, and yeah, they're just classy. And I like aviators IRL, so I've gifted so many people the mirrored glasses. They're just great.
Out of all the videos you've made on your channel, which one are you the most proud of and why?
Oh, okay, that's a tough one. I would say I'm probably most proud of the Gribbly interview that I just did, to be honest, because I was never expecting to be asked to do such an important interview, let alone I found out from Soulfox in the Video Partner Discord, like he posted the video and said like, good job. I'm like, wait, what? Like I had to find out not even by watching it. So Gribbly calls me out on the AMA to do an interview. And so it was just a crazy moment in my career and a huge milestone. I'm proud of myself for 2 reasons, because somehow I managed to make words go and say what I needed to say and get some like important words off my chest. It wasn't just the questions. I had to kind of think on the spot to say things back. And I was so nervous. It's Gribbly. Like it's Gribbly. I couldn't like focus. And then also the edit, I'm not 100% happy with because there was people in my house that week, like roofers, people installing doors and windows. There's like drilling going on. So I'm trying to edit this like long, like almost 40-minute edit. And well, it started off as an hour. I had to get it down to 40 minutes just about. And so I did my best trying to put on a bunch of B-roll, and Gribbly says a lot of like, and he kind of like repeats some things sometimes. So I had to do so much work to get that edit looking kind of crisp. So I'm proud of myself because I was nervous around him and I had to edit. It was just just a big project, and it's actually performing well. So
So the next question is, if you could go back in time, what would you say to your younger self?
to my younger self, probably to focus my energy, because it gets so easy to get caught up with stupid stuff like arguing with strangers on the internet or wasting time on Discord, just doing things that don't amount to anything, like playing video games for hours and hours. I would just tell myself, like, focus. All those things can be fun. Like I wish I realized earlier how important it is to build skills and work on fortitude and make your life happen instead of like letting life happen to you. So now I'm a little bit better at that.
What other careers would you consider besides writing and YouTube, you know?
Before I started with YouTube,
Yeah, but so
Writing,
before you
he
started,
means.
like, what other career ideas did you have, like,
Um,
before you started YouTube and stuff?
well, I started thinking about working for myself, working from home, kind of during COVID. And so I was actually selling face masks on Etsy and locally. I learned how to sew just to do that, and I was earning quite a bit. And then I actually had another shop on Etsy where I harvested wild plants and sold those, like dried lavender, pine cones, all that kind of stuff. Because like people that live in the city that enjoy doing crafts, they can't find those things in their backyard. So it sounds silly to me, like those things literally grow on trees. But I had that shop going for a while too. I probably would have continued with those Etsy shops in one form or another, but I got busy with YouTube and I decided to do that instead. So I kind of enjoy that whole, you know, making things, selling them, crafts, foraging. So maybe something like that, I think.
What do you feel is the secret to staying motivated when making content about the same game for so long? In this case, Rec Room.
That's a good question. I'm not always motivated is the thing. It goes in phases. Sometimes I have a ton of video ideas, and sometimes I feel like I've already made every video I can make and I just draw a blank. But I do find motivation in just going on Rec Room as a player. So when, like, without trying to film and just talking to people. My friend Jeremy has like literally 75 ideas off the top of his head at all times for videos. So I've even asked him sometimes for video ideas. But I think you just have to keep motivated by realizing, like for me, that quitting or taking a break is not an option. That's just how I stay motivated. So if I need a break or I want to take 2 weeks off, I do extra videos, schedule them, and then I take the break. So I just stay motivated by just keeping on a schedule. And I feel like Rec Room can be boring, but if you're creative, like there's endless possibilities. There's like 7 skit ideas I could probably think of right now just standing in Rec Royale. So it's like endless possibilities of what you want to make. So staying motivated isn't really that hard.
So the last question is, if you had a magic wand and could do any changes to your videos, or so like improving editing, shorter intros, what would you do?
Thumbnails. If I could have a magic wand and like the thumbnail would be perfect and done in 1 second, I would choose that option every single time. I'd rather edit, I would rather film, I would rather script, I would rather do anything besides thumbnails. Like I have paid to outsource them in the past, but for now it's not really something I can justify doing, but I don't know, I just hate them so much. I sit there and I look at a blank thumbnail template in Photoshop and half the time I just don't even know what I'm gonna do. More than half the time I'm not happy with how it turns out. And a small portion of the time other people DM me to say they're not happy with how it turned out, which then makes me just go into a fury of rage. That didn't happen with the Gribbly video from 2 RecTubers.
I think what it comes down to really, in my opinion, is people should just give you fair criticism and not be like rude about it. That's the way it should be.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
don't
it
think
should
people are trying to be rude. It's just I'm so sensitive about my thumbnails anyways because I know I'm not that great at them. So when someone's like, that's not that great, I'm like, I hate you. It's like that kind of thing. I don't have any mental fortitude at that point. So yeah, I struggled with that Gribbly thumbnail as well. So I was extra salty about it. Well, thank you guys so much for interviewing me today. I had a lot of fun and those questions really made me think.
Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to use code Tara in the shop.
Use code TARE.
And thank you so much, Tar, for having us on today. It was wonderful asking you some questions today. I hope they weren't too hard for you.
No, it's great. I love them. Very creative questions. All right, there's a video on screen for you guys to watch
Like and
next.
subscribe.